Morning, Harper. Grace, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. Make it a great day to be a gator.
Chomp chomp.
You.
Good morning, Queen Tails.
Today is August 15th, Friday, and it is an A Day.
We show kindness and love for others. We make our choices with our words and actions. We work forward to learn new things, and we do these things even when no one's watching. Thank you, and make it a great day to be a gator. Chomp chomp.
Yay! Are you nervous?
Yeah.
You're nervous? Are you ready out there?
Action. Hi, I'm Harper Grace Storm, and I like to play, I like to color, I like to make bracelets, and I like to play with toys, and I like to play with my cousin, I like to play with my friends.
I would say Harper doesn't know a stranger. She thinks everyone's her friend, and she makes everyone her friend.
No, I called these friends of mine and said, I'd like to bring Harper up to church just to meet everyone. The pastor said, would you like to sing? And she said, I'm singing 3. I didn't come all this way for one song.
Me and I just thank you for making me.
She's a normal 7-year-old.
Do you remember the last time that you were in the hospital?
So I got to leave like a couple weeks ago. I had to miss 3 holidays on summer. Father's Day, I think St. Patrick's Day, and 4th of July. I had a big tubie in my head. Because I had to go back in, my brain juice was leaking out of my head.
It was at her pediatrician checkup, and she said, have you noticed that she has a couple birthmarks? And I said, yeah, I thought you were only supposed to have 1. She said, well, I don't want to scare you, but this could be a sign of something else. You know, just we're going to keep it on the radar.
I was here the day they got the confirmation of her diagnosis. We were in the playroom, Harper and I were, and Pat and Julie got the call. So, watching her. Yeah, I can't. Oh, that was tough.
Her first surgery was when she was about 19 months old. It was a brain biopsy. That's when we had just gotten the NF diagnosis. We found the tumors through an MRI, and they had to do a brain biopsy to determine if it was growing fast enough to need chemo, and we found out it was, and that kind of catapulted our journey there.
What did you guys think when you heard neurofibromatosis?
I never heard of it.
What is it?
You're right.
We knew nothing about NF, never heard of it. Started doing research on it and scared the devil out of us.
The NF Center said, we'll do an MRI for you and we'll calm your nerves and everything will be okay. And I still remember getting the phone call, and I knew something was wrong because she said, can you get your husband on the phone with you? You're hearing that she has brain tumors and it's your baby and it's your first baby and you don't know what the hell you're doing. And that was a lot. From the outside, nothing looks wrong with Harper, right? And on the inside, she has a rap sheet of things wrong with her. You know, she has a brain tumor, she struggles with vision, she's dyslexic, she has a mild heart defect. It's harder for her to run around the track with the kids at recess. That part is difficult too because the kids don't understand why she can't do the monkey bars because nothing is indicating that she should struggle. Yeah. It's hard as a parent to watch because you never want your kid to struggle.
I'm David Gutmann, physician, researcher, grandfather, and jazz enthusiast.
He is an avid jazz music lover, and there's some math and some chaos in that kind of music, I believe.
He is so passionate about working with NF, and we've seen that over his last 35 plus years of being a physician and seeing that the only way that change is going to occur is when everyone works together.
You need more than a neurologist or a medical oncologist to care for these patients. He's a dad, he's a grandpa. It takes somebody who cares, who thinks outside the box. He is great at building that community and that team that can help to take care of these patients.
He has just as much of a passion for NF1 and obviously just as much as a passion for mentorship. And every time I'd meet with him, I'd walk away thinking about things, which I think is the mark of a good scientist, right? That they make you think.
See how those...
I cannot highlight enough how much anything we do in the lab stems from Dr. Gutmann's passion and dedication to the families that he sees.
So as a physician scientist, my goals may be different than a basic researcher. My goal is to change the way we practice for kids and families with NF. I need to address the problems that really affect their lives.
I think what sets Dr. Gutmann aside and what has made him so successful, he is extremely organized in thought, but how he puts them all out together to make this beautiful music and science and clinical care come out, still a magical mystery, magical jazz mystery.
That's the thought process that David has instilled in me and everybody else that he trains.
And he comes in with those like bow tie and high fives and like goofy sentiments and stuff. And it makes not only the kids feel comfortable, but the parents.
Once we were referred, it was an obvious referral to WashU. We didn't realize how great of a resource it was at the time. It did a little bit of investigating. It didn't take long to get clarification that we were in the right place.
The way I think about the problem of cancer predisposition syndromes like neurofibromatosis is trying to answer the questions that are most relevant to our families, which is what is going to happen to my child after you make the diagnosis? And second, if something goes wrong, do you have something that works specifically for my child's problem that you can deliver? And unless I can answer those questions confidently, I haven't done my job. Our understanding has evolved over the years. I think it's natural to start with the tumor cells if you're talking about a tumor, because that's the most obvious part of the problem. But as you think about it, it doesn't make any sense to talk about the behavior of a tumor cell when you're not talking about where that tumor cell lives.
If you think of the neighborhood of the tumor as just that, a neighborhood, a tumor being a big building, it's just really right next door to the other much more populous, smaller buildings, all the neurons. They're really connected to each other. So why do we just want to target something that is unique and only happening in the tumor, but not all of the surrounding connected, interconnected network of neighbors?
My biggest takeaway from the lab was that they were talking about that they want to try to use medicine that already exists to speed the process up, because the process to get a new medicine and go through trials and get it approved is so time consuming. And so they're really trying to make this something that can benefit these kids now.
We chose an FDA-approved drug. We do not need an FDA approval to move on with treatment. This is a very common drug used with a really good safety profile.
We need to get beyond borrowing drugs that we use to treat brain tumors in folks without NF1 and apply those to folks with NF1, because maybe that's logical, but not specific and doesn't address the needs of our kids.
They answered every question I had, and sometimes my questions feel stupid. And you're talking to these brilliant minds, and they just sat there and answered anything we had and reassured us that, you know, we were doing everything right as parents, because a lot of times we don't feel like we are. Having a sick kid is hard. It's hard to watch and it's hard to be part of. And if we can start to tell people what it is and get other stories out there, I think that's humongous. It at least gives us hope, and it gives us this like strength and this like there's a team behind us, and we're gonna do this not only for our kid, but these other kiddos that need it.
For all the families that have a child that has NF, I mean, I think I could probably speak for us all and say that at any point in time throughout her entire life, something can manifest. And you know, you live in fear. You worry every day. Anything can happen at any point.
She's resilient. Harper, she wants to be the best at her stuff. She wants to be like anybody else. But she's also a normal kid. We have to help push her through some things, or it's a push and pull for sure. It's hard.
Especially some of these procedures that, as awful as they are, the fact that she was at school today like nothing had happened. You know, teachers saying, I didn't even know you were gonna be here. So you see her one day that she just had a procedure, and then like 3 to 4 days later, you see her showing up with this positive attitude like nothing happened.
When you looked at that sheet, you know what you said?
What?
I can't read that. Do you remember that? And then what ended up happening?
I can.
You could, right? So think about that. I can and I will.
I can and I will.
It's really not about what I accomplish. It is really about my enabling the next generation to make the practice of NF far better than what I could ever have dreamed of.
Hey, Dr. Gutmann.
Well, hey there. You come to surprise me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna give you this bracelet.
Will you help me put it on?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
So I made this at the hospital.
Yeah?
But I'm not a really good tile, but I think I can go through here.
I think you can do anything.
Yeah.
You think so? You have superpowers. Isn't this one of your superpowers? Yeah. You are a superstar.
I have been with the NF Center for over 10 years. Dr. Gutmann's dream is that no one's limited by the diagnosis of NF, and they get to be whatever they want to be.
I've never met anybody like Harper. She has such joy. She's just...
And she shares it. She has more courage than anyone.
You have to be careful when you're in the hospital with her not to cry, because she's more concerned about you.
She is Little Miss Sunshine, and she wants to make sure everyone around her is okay.
With everything that she has in her life that is challenging, I am so amazed that she thinks outside of herself as often as she does.
A 7-year-old is really teaching us all the values and what's important and how to be really great people.
The lemonade stand idea was all Harper.
I was like, that would be a good idea to raise money and give it to the children's hospital. And we set it all up, and then we said, for my first time, we were like, lemonade, lemonade, who wants lemonade?
She was old enough to say, like, let's do something with the money. And then that darn girl raised $2,500.
A lemonade stand. Could I have some lemonade?
Sure, we only made one for you.
That's so sweet. You know, I light up when I'm in the room with her because she's got natural magnetism. She's got a positive spirit. Tell me about all of the money that you made selling lemonade.
I gave it to children's hospital, like, so if kids like had to get like an IV or a pig line, or they had to get a surgery, they can get a little kit.
That's so sweet. She's hopeful, and those are the traits that embody many of our children with NF. They don't view this as a burden. They view this as one thing that they're handling amongst many things.
Let's go NF on 3.
It's an honor and a privilege to be Harper's doctor.
People come in from all over the world to go to that clinic. I can't imagine if we didn't have Dr. Gutmann. You know, you have the best guy around. It does truly take a village.
All right.
That's a lot.
You want to go play?
Yeah.